Alright, here we are going to Slitterhead and try Slitterhead. Let's see, this was released on the 8th of November 2024. And it has a demo here, hopefully up when this video goes live. What does the tag say here? I must eliminate them all. The bodiless Hyuki hunts down the brain-devouring Slitterheads lurking in the alleys of a neon-lit city. I believe they are categorized as an indie game, like a studio developer here. The price tag is for an indie game, $50 euros here. It's pricey, alright. So more in the line of a full-blown AA or AAA game. Has very positive reviews. So let's see how this is gonna turn out. Let's see, maybe we can crank the audio a little bit. Right, so we're gonna be playing this with the Gamesir T4 gamepad here. I'm gonna try to first look at the options. The first thing that sticks out to me here is that they are heavy on like some kind of both like depth, like blur, depth of field here, and also it seems like chromatic aberration is cranked to 10, because this is kind of like, for me to just watch this screen here with the reading here, it's heavy on my brain. It is really not a good options for me personally. The kind of effect here they have on the text and that is really not good like for me personally here. But we're gonna check the options real quickly. Firstly, we have difficulty settings. We're gonna go with normal. Button display, PlayStation 5, mouse and keyboard, and Xbox. This is nice. If it's forced, I might try to see if you can combine like mouse and keyboard without flickering. We're gonna stick with Xbox here for now. Auto camera turn on, blah blah. But let's keep this default. Auto turn billing. Let's go with default. Dash operations, change dash button behavior. Switch on off while pushing. Okay, so this is probably hold, and this is a toggle. Climbing assist. Let's keep this on. Yeah. Oh my god. I'm sorry, but I gotta point this out. Like having this kind of effect here on like the font, the text here, that makes them like fuzzy. The chromatic aberration thing here, it's just so annoyingly bad. It's almost giving me a headache. Screen distortion, okay, sure, we can keep that on. Button assignment setting, controller settings, not sure what this means. We can turn that one off. Okay, remapping, and that's nice. Quite a few key bindings here. Okay, so I cannot use my back pedals really. I would have to do some heavy remapping then, since the left and right triggers joystick pressing the left and right joystick are already bound to actions within the game. I would have to be doing quite a lot of different remapping here, but you can remap. This is really good thing. But let's go with the default just to trying this game out. Okay, you can invert. That's a really nice option here for at least for the gamepad. How this would work with mouse and keyboard is a good question. Let's see. You have speed and stuff. Right, keyboard and mouse. It looks like you can rebind. Yeah, you can rebind that. And you can see what the keys are. This is really solid stuff so far. And you can also invert for mouse and keyboard. Really good stuff. You can have hold or toggle here. It's definitely nice. Input sensitivity settings, and here we have graphical things. We have VSync on off. We have some resolution modes. Okay, since I'm in windowed mode, let's not do that. It resets the window. It applies the settings immediately here. And we have VSync window mode, which is nice, and you have full screen mode also, brightness settings, graphics quality. You have built-in FSR3, which is nice for since I'm running an Intel ARC here, like having FSR3 is good because it works on AMD, Intel and NVIDIA's. You know, it doesn't require any specific. It obviously is nice if you have DLSS and XESS, because those are like taking advantage of the Intel's or the NVIDIA's hardware upscaling, which is offer better quality, is pretty much, you know, what it does at this point in time. But it's really nice. You have both upscaling here with FSR, and you have also frame generation, which means that no matter what kind of graphics card, you can be able to enjoy, you know, getting higher frame rate if you need that. Motion blur on off, really nice. Obviously it would be nice to tweak the settings more than just having like a high, medium or low preset, but for a demo and everything is fine. But I'm hoping that for the full game that you have hopefully maybe a little bit more settings, definitely turning off like depth of field or chromatic aberration, you know, more tweaking and maybe anisotropic filtering, anti-aliasing settings and stuff like that. And you have your volume here, you have master, music, sound effects and voice, and mono or stereo. So this ticks all the good boxes for a solid demo. The only thing obviously is, since this is a 3D heavy game, to be able to tweak the performance more is definitely something that can be really nice. So we're gonna do a new game. We're gonna go with the normal difficulty. We can check the settings or the performance here. So far it's fairly heavy here in the menu, but nothing super crazy. But let's see what's gonna happen when we go in game here. Oh right, I'm gonna do just one thing here. I'm gonna close down my browser to not affect performance. This. Turn down the audio a little bit here. Nice music, interesting style so far. It's overall it looks nice. The 3D models might not be the, you know, absolute top-notch craziest cool, but it seems really nice, everything here, but overall. A little bit of this kind of sci-fi, cyberpunk-ish feeling to the intro here. Fairly heavy, but I can get the 120 frames here. Not using a lot of VRAM so far. You should be fine with the 6 to 8 gig of VRAM so far here. We're gonna see what happens when we are done with the cutscene. But yeah, so far. But I am using FSR upscaling and frame generation to maintain this 120 frames per second here. So it's not a lightweight game. It's pretty medium to heavy. Using most of the cores, but I can see that like 1 and 2 cores aren't really doing a lot of work here, so up to around the 8 to 10-ish threads being utilized. So nicely multi-threaded so far. you're going to probably need at least, you know, like 12 gigabyte of system memory. Not VRAM, you know, but just to run this game. It's hitting around the 10 gigabyte of system memory, so if you have 8 gig of only has 8. That was very loud. Yeah, but if you only have 8 gig of system memory in your computer, you could encounter problems. Don't know why that sound effect was so loud compared to the music and stuff there. Lots of fog and effect here, alright. Doon doon. Doon doon doon. I have a few dropped frames when recording here with OBS, so the Nvidia's graphics card, the RTX series, has been a little bit more stable when recording or streaming and playing heavy games, but it seems to be not too bad here, but it seems that the Intel ARC B580 is a little bit worse when it comes to both gaming and recording or streaming with OBS here. Nothing crazy, but a few dropped frames have been happening. Shouldn't be anything too crazy. Right, so let me just do something quick here. I'm just gonna reset. Gonna see what's gonna happening here. We're gonna process this little Doggo. Okay, so we can now see that the VRAM has gone up significantly. You're gonna need at least 8 gig of VRAM GPU here, or 4040p at least in the high settings. The system memory again, above 10 gig of system memory is gonna be required. Running good here, nothing too crazy. Options, but if we do, let me do this, we're gonna show obviously what's gonna happen if we do this. If you turn it off, the performance is way more demanding here, right? I can barely hit 60 frames on a ARC B580 graphics card here, so there's no way. What is missing that would be nice is to be able to limit the frame rate to 30, 60, 120 or something like 144, or like a custom slider. Because this is definitely like a pretty heavy game. You can turn down the graphics quality. A pretty heavy games, right? So if you have a mid-tier GPU or lower tier, maybe the ARC B580 is classified as, you are going to have to either, you know, not get 120 frames or turn down settings. It's still good in the low or in the medium settings here. I'm getting 100 frames, so if you have a like a G-Sync or FreeSync or VRR enabled display, it's still, you know, still gonna be very playable. But you also have the options to go and turn on, let me see, you can just, for example, just try, you can only turn on the frame generation if you want to do that. Doesn't seem like that is good enough. Okay, that's interesting though. So only turning on frame generation is not gonna work. So this option should be grayed out until you turn on this one. Yeah, because now this works. The frame generation. And this is just using this to... Yeah. There we go. So this is gonna use FSR 3 with quality mode for upscaling, and then we can have frame generation. Let's just try FSR without frame generation. So we get fairly good fairly good performance here in high. So you can play in medium settings and no FSR, and you get about the same performance as high settings with FSR on quality upscaling here. But you also have the options to turn on frame generation, and this is why I think for this game it's just gonna be perfectly fine for me. I have frame generation and I have upscaling, and this game is, you know, not input sensitive that I feel. It feels very nice here. I'm using gamepad and everything. It looks like you can use gamepad and you can use mouse and keyboard at the same time. It does look like you... let me go up and showcase one thing here. Controller, blah blah blah. There we go. There we go. Let's try this. Right. This is a perfect game. You can force what input you want to be shown. So you can combine gamepad and mouse and keyboard inputs, and they work seamlessly at the same time. And you can choose what you want to be showcased. Because many games use auto detection and they flicker back and forth. This game has done pretty much everything really great. You know, it's just, for a demo, is awesome. Only thing again that I feel is just missing here is this. It is quite a heavy game. I'm guessing this might be using Unreal Engine 5 or something like that, maybe. More settings here. Definitely want to turn off the chromatic aberration. That makes just reading the font here very, very difficult for me. Hard on the brain. Like a bit more options here would be really nice, and at least FPS limiter mode here. So other than that, it starts off really solid here. But yeah, I can hit high settings here. You know, I can use frame generation, FSR3 upscaling. So now we're gonna focus on just seeing to play. I do like the kind of artistic vibe so far. Gameplay, it's hard to tell. Don't really know exactly what the story here is. So we are some kind of spirit taking over this doggo here, and now we are trying to follow a scent. Right. Looks pretty, you know, decent here. I'm sure that there's gonna be some that don't think that the graphics like match these kind of high requirements, but I don't think it's that crazy. It's just the animation here, the models that look a little bit lower quality. But graphically, otherwise, it feels good, smooth, no stuttering here. And the performance, I feel, is where it should be with the ARC B580 here. Right, so we cannot go here. Point the camera at the target to highlight it and possess that life form me to move your consciousness. Okay, so we can... So what we can do is... We can take over different life forms. Okay. Right, we can move. Let's just move forward. Right. It wants us to take over another one. Okay. We walk like a zombie. Oh. Okay, VRAM is now being using over 8 gig here.
Baby, you smell good.
Oh. Okay. So we need to get to another one, okay? Right. Yeah. Hello? Oh. Okay, performance is definitely having some bit of a trouble here going back and forward through all of these scenes. A bit stuttering, a bit jumpy here. Again, just to quickly before we process it, VRAM has Ryzen above here, above the 8 gig of mark. That means that you might need to lower settings down to medium. It could also be that I have 12 gig of VRAM available of this card, and it could then be that the game just uses a little bit more because it can. It could still run great on an 8 gig card. It's harder to, tell by just looking at the numbers in MSI, but MSI is giving me a hint that if you have an 8 gig of graphics card, you might be on the limit here of pushing the high settings in this game, just as a notice here. It could still run perfectly fine, but it might be that you need to go to medium settings, or that you might want to have a more VRAM available than 8 gig. Again, it's a fine line, because if you have more VRAM, games can utilize more VRAM. But it doesn't mean that the game necessarily demands it to run, at a great. It's just like computer. If you have more system memory, sometimes the, you know, Windows just like to use it as a buffer because, hey, why not? I have it available. Alright, let's go into the game. So, if a host dies, the program will lose a soul. If he loses 3 souls, his own soul will vanish. Okay. Possess the next body before your host is killed. Okay. Right. Interesting game so far. Right, so now we're just running so far. Performance is... Oh, we can jump there, okay. It still seems to be running pretty good now when the initial kind of stutter stuff is over. Okay. So we are a spirit and we need to eliminate some demons. Okay. I'm not entirely sure about what they meant with the kind of 3 lives things that I've had. Not 100% sure.
Hurry back, okay? Remember, we have a patient first thing in the morning.
English language. Could you change language? I'm gonna have to check that. It's hard to tell exactly the gameplay so far, but... This looks like an interesting idea. Probably not a game that's gonna be really my type of style, but it looks like an interesting kind of thing here. While holding, it slows down, okay? And I can look around. Okay. Sure. I'm just curious to see difficulty, screen, button, controller, vertical. Screen, resolution, master volume. Voice. No, don't see any way to change the language. Not right now, at least. So it is, I guess, English language only. Sure. All right. Try using possession. Touch the light. Oh, remember a memory? There is some stuttering, kind of like, not shader compilation stuttering, but more like loading traversal stuttering here and there when heavy cutscene stuff like happens, but it's pretty minor. I seem, again, I want to point out, since this is a new card, the ARC B580, I have a few frames dropped here when gaming and recording. Nothing that should be that noticeable or anything, but I feel that the NVIDIA RTX graphics cards are a little bit better for just streaming, recording and playing the games with maximum smoothness. I might be able to tweak, you know, my recording setting in OBS. I'm using kind of like the AV1 highest quality recording here with the B580. If I lower that down a little bit, 1 notch, that could be making these few frames here and there that drops to not happen. Lost memories or objectives will return. Some abilities might even be regained. Okay, so collecting memories, you will get stuff. It's an interesting idea that you can switch, and this one seems faster here. All right, we have a jump. Collecting memories. Remember. Okay, so we are regaining memories here. Oh. Hold left trigger prime. Focus on an enemy. Huh? Block enemy attacks. Okay. Okay. But what am I supposed to do? Oh, right, okay. So prime guard, attack, evade. Okay, so I'm supposed to... Post abilities are enhanced for a set time, max blah blah, and the attack power are raised. Combo one more attack, okay. When the temporary blah blah... I'm not sure that I've, like, I don't know, it feels like it's like a little bit on the confusing side here with all of this tutorial stuff here. I'm sure it's just me, but it feels a little bit like thrown too much here in a quick succession here. But pretty much they want you to swap backwards and forward for some combo stuff to do more damage, is what I feel that they are telling me, but... Right, so it's a little bit of action stuff going on here, okay? Wouldn't say that I feel the combat here feels overly engaging for me personally, but... It's definitely quite a linear starting here. Nothing wrong with that, you know, but it's not like openly a very focused linear guiding story so far here. So far it feels like we are a spirit that are trying to see what happened in the past by collecting memories and some weird enemies that we are kinda trying to fight at this point. Yeah, so taking over bodies, you got to take a little bit of their memories in. You can see they are using duplicate models here, that behind me here. Again, nothing too crazy, but definitely a bit of an interesting thing here. VRAM is now up to 9 GB. Let's just for fun try to see here what. Doesn't seem to affect the VRAM usage going from high to medium settings. Low settings? No. So yeah, more graphic options here to fine-tune would definitely be nice. So this might be having problems on an 8 GB of VRAM graphics card. And it could also just be that I have 12 gigs available and the game is then using a little bit more of a VRAM here. Here comes another monster. Let me do that for now. Right, so you can go up and vertically up and down. Right, so to go to different areas you need to like... Alright, yeah. Right. We are in the tutorial here, you're trying to learn stuff. I I don't think it's we need to have like the objective constantly like in that placing. Maybe it places in the top left corner or something. It's kind of a little bit in the way. Maybe it will change later on in the game, but it's can we change that, because we don't need it to be constantly just obstructing the kind of gameplay view here. No. Right, if you want to have that, you can have that. Controller settings, mouse settings, screen resolution, blah 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 blah. No, okay, so yeah, because the objective there, like have it fading in or out or something. Like it's a bit unnecessary to having it being constantly displayed there. It seemed like a pretty interesting idea, definitely, to possess living spirits, right? The combat, then again, pretty basic. But we seem we might be getting better, like... Yeah, I didn't read them. Here we go. Right. More tutorial. It's just... I gotta be honest here, you know, for them, it's good to have, obviously have, you know, tutorials and everything, but it just feels like it's too much here with too little gameplay happening. It's just, oh my god. Maybe it could introduce stuff in a little bit of a more streamlined way. It just feels like it's just hammering you down with tons of stuff immediately here. Old Prime Guard, while primed and ready. Right stick, I'm gonna guess, to deflect. Okay, so we have a parry. Pretty much. Right, so we have a parry thing here. So now it wants you to... Okay, press up. That's weird. That was a weird little combo thing. Press right stick up. I don't like that. Huh. Yeah, so you have trying to get more of an advanced parrying system in here. Okay, not my type of thing, but sure, you know, you might love that. Doesn't mean it's bad. It's just not really what I'm feeling interested in personally. You know, it's not a bad game design or anything like that. Just personal preference here. So if, okay, they are really going heavy here on this type of combat. Okay, I'm doing this wrong. Okay, how? Failing. Yeah, this is not my type of... Remember how to successfully use. Okay. Right. Okay, I hit my own. Okay, did I get the tutorial? Okay, we got the tutorial maybe. Do I keep going? No. Huh. It's still more that way. Alright. Unfortunately, I don't think this type of combat is my type of thing. Like the vibe of the game, artistic, interesting here, but this type of combat here is not really my type of... I don't know, it doesn't really interest me, unfortunately. But it seems like it's not too bad or anything like that. It's just personal preference when it comes to that. So now we need to go down here. Wait, what? Well, that's not how you do it, I guess. Yeah, I failed that. I was supposed to hit one before jumping, I guess, in a better way. Alright, so where are we supposed to be going now? I get a little bit of the ghost... is it like Ghostwire Tokyo, something like that? Enemies can be detected as a presence. Okay, so we are actively going to be hunting out. It looks a bit weird to follow this, be quite honest. It's a bit weird. I'm trying to like to see exactly where it is. It's a bit weird to me. It's not really that clear, like... I'm sure... Right, yeah, go. What? I don't know. Yeah, target is gonna die. I'm probably gonna fail this. What? I... That is not a good effect. It's not. It should be more streamlined. Did I fail? Is it like... Was this supposed to happen? Nope. Alright. I'm sorry, that did not feel good. I'm sure again it might just be me. But that felt really bad. Again, like, how the screen effect of where to go, it was very not clear. It should not have been like the entire screen being just that looking. It should have been much more like more of a trail. Like, this is not good. It looks really bad. It should not be like this entire screen. It should just more be a streamlined kind of guide in this screen, not the entire screen just glowing up and looking weird. I do not... yeah, this I don't like. You have a minute to do this. It's very... no. This does not look good at all. Like, where to go here is just... I think it's really bad. I don't like this game design choice here at all. I just... no. No. Like, I don't have any, like, good clue on where I'm going. I'm just pretty much running in the blind here. The way this looks is just... yeah, not good. That was not a good effect of telling you to go here. You don't have to agree with me, but it should have just been more of a easier streamline kind of thing here, not like the full screen effect weirdness. And now you are like your first fights, I'm gonna guess. Alright, I'm guessing they want you to use this again. Yeah. Yeah, they really want you to go with that type of combating. Yeah, alright, you're alright. Oh, oh. Wow, that took a lot of damage. Don't hit my own ones. I did not want to hit another one of my own there. Right, and this is the real monster boss here. Ooh, brutal. Okay. Huh. Oh. Bit too soon on that. Oh, that is a rough, interesting timing there for sure. What? Okay. What? Yeah. That is a rough timing. What? Okay, an individual with extremely high fusion and blah blah blah. Okay. Okay, so a superhuman here when possessed. Okay, and now we have skills. I'm sorry, but I'm a little bit like game. It's nice that you have a lot and you give a lot, but like I feel you're doing this too soon. Like it's just been tutorial. Like this is like how long now? It's like 1 hour, and I'm just reading tutorials. I'm just like this new thing. I don't get to experience. I haven't really gotten into what the game is about. Anything. It's just. I like it when you step up and give things throughout the game. Here it just feels like we are just getting a fist full of everything at once. I also saw a nice little spike, unfortunately, in recording. Hopefully it's not too bad that it dropped a chunk of frames there. But yeah, this could be a very fun thing, but I'm gonna be stopping really soon here. But to be quite honest, I haven't really gotten to know much of the story because it's just been reading tutorials, following the Gamesir trying tutorials, and I feel it's too much here, right? Like, it's nice that you give me the basic of the tutorials and everything, but also give me more of the story and what the game is, not just trying to teach me everything in just one chunk here. The might just be a me thing, but I just like 1 hour in, I'm not sure like why would I want to play this game, because this seems that it should be about the story, uncovering mysteries, but I'm just reading parrying tutorials, blocking tutorials, possession tutorials, skills tutorials, healing tutorials, memory tutorials, tutorials. Like what is the game? More than tutorials, right? I get that there is some kind of combat, but I don't need to get every single deep tutorial thing here at once. Give me the basic fight tutorials. Let me do that for a bit, Give me the story and the vibe of the games. Introduce a little bit more and stuff. Like 1 hour and it just feels like I'm in the bare bone tutorials before I can even explore the game. And it's not really a good vibe to me. It's just too much to just memorize and take in all at once here. Like, now I'm just focused in on the tutorials, what they are trying to teach me, and not like focusing on like, hey, what is this game gonna be? It's just like, is this game gonna be just about advanced fighting? Is this, because that's what it seems from all the tutorials. Or is this game gonna be about the vibe and covering mysteries and maybe seeing different humans' memories? That would have been awesome, but it's just like, so far the only thing that I can take from this is that this game wants to be some kind of advanced parrying, third-party combat game from all of the tutorials thrown at me, and I don't think that is true. And I'm just tired of reading all of these tutorials, to be quite honest, so I'm just... You know what? I've been doing this for 1 hour and I can see that the game here... I don't know why, but it seems that it's dropping a little bit, yeah. I don't know why, but it is... recording here, it seems to be a little bit of struggling here, a little bit here and there. So I'm gonna need to try to tweak that. It should be fine, but I want to tweak it a little bit better. But I'm just... not my style of game here with this just type of combat. Story and, you know, just the vibe of the game seems interesting. The models might not be the highest quality, and the audio levels are all over the place, but yeah, I'm not interested in just... Again, I gotta go with what the game is giving me, right? That's why I play demos. And just this heavy kind of combat system with parrying, healing, reviving, skilling, jumping stuff. It's not my type. It can be really nice, and I'm sure if you're into that, this could be really fun. But the vibe, if the demo would have focused more on like the vibe of like uncovering mysteries, assessing others to see what memories and stuff like that they are bringing to the table and stuff like that, it could be more interesting. But it's just been 1 hour long, almost, tutorials are trying to get me into some heavy stuff, and now we have skill stuff here, and yeah, I'm not interested in this type of like action fighting game here, right? Doesn't really speak to me here. What do you want to do here, right? You have different skill here. So I'm just gonna be... Yeah, I feel I'm done here with this, personally, this... and it's another tutorial here. Okay. No, I'm sorry, no. No. I can't do this, man. Like, 1 hour combat tutorial. It's nice, this game has a very high rating, and I can see if you're into this, it's great, but... really, like, you should have stepped it up in a better curve. Like, I'm gonna stop here. Yeah, another tutorial to another tutorial to another tutorial. So title screen, there we go. Yeah, it's not for me. It just isn't, because again, okay, you have language setting here. Why is that not in options? That's unfortunate. You know, again, you gotta go what the demo gives you, and this demo has given me 1 hour of just combat tutorial. and it's that like this could have been sure interesting combat stuff, right? But this feels like if Doom Eternal would have started off with giving you every weapon, every thing and skills at you at once, and that would just be it feels overwhelming, right? If you're coming fresh to it, and if you're used to games like this and everything, this might just be clicking fast for you. This is not, you know, my common style of game. So for me here, it is just like 1 hour of just trying to like memorize and getting into this combat stuff. And like it's sad because I think the initial story and mysterious and the vibe of the game, that looked interesting. That felt something that I wanted to maybe explore. But in this 1 hour here, it has been very, very little story thing here and that, and just building more and more combat stuff. And since the combat, it doesn't really entice me that much, it's like it doesn't really egg me on to wanna dive deeper into this demo. If the combat here really, you know, whoa, seems awesome to you, then obviously that's gonna be great. But this game could have, like, if it was more the story and that was pushed harder, it could have been, you know, more pushing me harder to wanna get more into it. And if there was just a slower build-up of the tutorial here, like get, you know, your basic attack, you know, you can attack and you can heal and you can, you know, jump between. And if that was a thing for, you know, 30 minutes or so, and you get a few fights, and then maybe they add, oh, you can get this extra possessed human and you fight for that for like 30 minutes or so, and then, oh, you can get skills, then it would have been a nicer build up. It would have been more interesting to like continue here. But it's just like I have to do jump between them, and I need to heal. I have superhumans, I have the skills abilities, and I need to parry, I need to evade, I need to... Okay, that's all this game is to me at this point, because the story is like so condensed in this 1 hour. Like, so yeah. This demo just tells me that it's gonna be a shit ton of combat that really isn't that interesting to me, and it's gonna be very little of the story that is very interesting to me. And the problem is that this game, sorry for taking long here speaking here, but it's just because, again, just the intro scene here with the story, that felt like, damn it, this seems really interesting. But then I have 50 plus almost minutes of just trying combat stuff. And I'm not interested in a game that's gonna be 90% of this type of combat and then 10% of the story. So I'm dropping out here, but hey, it's great. You have a demo, you can try this yourself. Maybe if you love this combat, you know, that's awesome to you. If you don't think that, like, you might not think that the story is as important to you, then you are, you know, this demo is gonna be awesome. It's gonna really showcase and let you get into the combat stuff. But if you're more like me, that you're not feeling this type of combat, but you feel that the story seems kind of awesome, this can be really off-putting. So great stuff that you have the demo here to really showcase this. But what the demo here is missing is like, is this game heavy on the combat focus, or is it gonna be heavy on the story focus? The demo is telling me this is heavy on the combat, and I'm not sure that that is true for the full game. Hopefully this demo is you know, doing the right thing. It's showcasing that, alright, this is gonna be focusing heavy on the combat. So you need to love the combat, you need to get into the combat, you need to really speak and feel the combat here. And that means that if you don't connect with the combat, this game will not be for you. So try this demo. If you love the combat, you know, it should hopefully be filled with lots of combat, and you might really love this game. But if you're not really like me, feeling the combat is your gameplay style, you probably should just not get into this game. Because again, the game really heavily starts off with just pushing this combat and very minimal story. Like, I have barely any idea about the story 1 hour in. Yeah, some kind of spirits taking over some life forms and like trying in one way or another getting back some kind of memories. That's it. I know barely anything more than that in 1 hour. But I do know that we are supposed to get into a lot of combat stuff. So I love that I could try this and play this, and I'm a little bit saddened that this wasn't more on like the, again, slower build up into the combat and more focus on the story, because then it could have been very interesting to me personally. But yeah, graphic is all right. It might again maybe feel to be a little bit on the graphic heavy side for some of the mere like entry level graphics card, unfortunately. But you have a decent amount of options to tweak the settings. Seems like this is another game that you might want to have at least 8 gig of VRAM to run, possibly. But you should probably be able to at least run this around 60 frames per second on the entry level hardware in like 1080p, and it has a decently looking, like interesting looking style to it. It's just, I feel it's just some of the 3D models that are sticking out as a bit maybe of lower tier quality compared to the rest of the game. I hope the full game has a little bit of option to turn off some of the chromatic aberration and effects and tweak maybe the VRAM, GPU texture size and utilization, stuff like that. But it's a solid demo all in all, and controller input with like remapping and forcing Xbox or PlayStation layout, and then you can really like add mouse, keyboard and gamepad and mix and match in a very super fluid great. That is top notch. Very few games allow that. They are doing that absolutely fantastic. Like just the core things behind the technical things here, I think they are doing mostly a top tier job here. It just came down to personal preference that I'm not really into this combat style, but like the technical stuff I feel is really solid. Again, like you only get FSR, but if you for some reason are only gonna go for one type of upscaling in frame generation, I think FSR is the best way to go. XCSS for upscaling can also be used on all of the hardwares, so that is a decent option, but FSR is just the most neutral one. Obviously it's fine. It's very nice if you can have DLSS, XCS and stuff like that, hardware based, to get the most oomph. But again, FSR is a very good middle ground here and everything. So like technically I feel this was very solid done. Again, story seemed like it could have been interesting, but it's too little story for me to say anything about that. Combat, again, since I'm not heavily into playing games that has combat that like this, I cannot really tell if this is doing this style of combat to a good level, low level or mid level. So you have to decide that by yourself or look at other playing this reviews or trying this demo and see what they feel about the combat. But it's just not my type of combat, so I cannot really dive into that. So yeah, again, try this game yourself, Slitterhead, and maybe you wanna give this a go if you really feeling that combat. But you can leave a like, a comment, thumbs up, thumbs down, follow, check back to channel, all that kind of stuff if you want to do that. If you don't want to miss me or see me trying and giving my opinions on demos and games and video related stuff and other you know, in the realm of computing related to gaming. But that's gonna be it for this video, so thanks for watching, have a great day, and bye for this time.